Hey everyone, welcome to this weekend Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for November 8th to the 10th of 2019. All right, so this weekend we have a lot going on. We have the moon in receptive Pisces. So the backdrop will be around gaining greater receptivity in our life, acceptance, finding peace, great time for spirituality, creativity, all these more etheric qualities, great to be developing at this time. So with this, we have Saturn sextiling Neptune here Friday and Saturday. This is the last contact since January. So this whole year, it's been great for building towards any ideals and maybe just noticing a bit of flow in terms of the structures that maybe we've been building or rebuilding here this year. So there could be some completion with this, but in either case, it is a great weekend for, again, these receptive things and just noticing a bit of flow perhaps in regards to maybe some of the larger contexts of this year. So the sun will be trining up to that, activating it, and then going into Sunday, we do have Mercury sextile Pluto, so there could be a bit of a deeper mind and a great time for maybe research or communicating truth and really getting into the depths of things. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when I return. All right, so here is the sky for this weekend. We're going to look at this for all 3 days here. Friday, the moon in Pisces, Saturday, and Sunday, all weekend here with the moon in Pisces. So again, we are using the actual size of the constellations. For example, Pisces is a very large constellation, which is different from mainstream astrology, which uses an even 30 degrees for all the constellations. So this does change the signs. If you are new to the channel, definitely check out the link down below for more information. All right, so let's take a look at the backdrop, which is the moon here in this receptive constellation, the last constellation of the zodiac, which is about coming full circle back to finding peace. It is a great weekend for doing this. Anything that is about maybe spirituality, maybe getting some receptive time, listening to our dreams or our intuition, could be a great time for creativity, and cultivating any dreams and ideals, which is essentially what Pisces is about. So even though this is a kind of deep water energy, we are in the heightened part of the lunar cycle. We are going to be approaching a full moon on Tuesday. So it's a great weekend for building some momentum. We do have some wind in our sails now this part of the lunar month, but in this case, maybe cultivating a bit of this intuitive, creative presence, water energy into our daily life, which again could be going into the heightened phase and completion for the lunar month. All right, so that's the backdrop, but in terms of the aspects, we do have a very important one going exact. Saturn is sextiling up to Neptune for the last and final time. So this is the third contact, which completes the series here of what's been going on since around January 31st, when we had the first contact. So this has been a great year. It's just been an opening. It's nothing that we were necessarily forced into, but just a bit of an opening with the sextile to create a bit of maybe receptivity into the things that we are building, maybe with our structures, maybe bringing in some receptivity into our practical life. If there has been anything that you've been building towards that might be an ideal of some kind or a dream of some kind, it has been a great year of turning that ideal or turning that dream into a reality. Now, of course, this is a balance between what is possible in the dreams while at the same time practicality, right? So to some degree, I think if we're all very objective about it, we can see that at least on some level, there might be some things that are completing here around the weekend. If we look back to this year, that may have been something that we've built towards, that may have been a deeper ideal or something like a dream you might call. It's a great weekend to maybe solidify some of these things. But in either case, whether you feel like there's been some completion with this, it's a great weekend to do just that. If there are any, again, ideals, it's a great weekend of maybe still building towards them, because this is an energy that we can continue to work with even as we go into next year. Now, on another level, this can be maybe noticing a bit of flow with the structures that we've been building. So this could be a good weekend for again, just noticing a bit of receptivity, especially with the moon in Pisces, but also with the sun trining up to this aspect. So on a more monthly sense and more immediate sense, I think this is a great weekend for all things Neptunian and Piscean. Again, cultivating dreams and ideals, maybe incorporating a bit of this receptive energy into our day-to-day life. Favors things like intuition, creativity, imagination, spirituality, especially. Excellent weekend for this. And just noticing a bit of this softer energy as well in our personality. Maybe compassion, understanding, acceptance, right? Could be very heightened and very supportive for particularly Friday and Saturday here. All right, so that's definitely the most important thing going on this weekend, and you could even say from a monthly sense with this activation here. Now, once we do get into the later part of Saturday and into Sunday, we do have Mercury sextiling deep Pluto, so it could be good for, again, just an opening sextile to use our deep mind and maybe communicate things deeply, right? So it could be really good for things like research, uncovering truth, speaking the truth, right? Intimacy, depth, all this deeper stuff if we do choose to work with it, again, either mentally or communicatively. And sometimes with this, there can be some information that can be transformative, something we learn, but in either case, just a great time for all forms of learning and communication going into Sunday. All right, everyone, so that's the weekend in a nutshell. Most important thing is this Saturn Sextile Neptune. Do see if there are some completions since January 31st around there that we can acknowledge, be aware of. And another indication of this is it may have shifted around mid-June, around June 18th in regards to this when we had the second contact, but it is the final completion of it. And essentially what it's about the collective, all of us, incorporating more of this receptive energy, right? And maybe building some of our structures that can be more in alignment to our deeper soul, to these things that are important to us on an essential level. And anything this weekend that we can do to connect to that can be great, especially with the sun trining Neptune and sextiling Saturn. We can feel a bit receptive and a bit grounded, especially with the moon in Pisces, adds the theme to that backdrop as well. All right, everyone. So that's the weekend in a nutshell. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Again, we will be approaching a full moon on Tuesday, so I'll be making a video for that on Monday. We have some, again, momentum in this part of the lunar cycle. So great weekend to incorporate some of that. So have a great one, everyone. Thank you again for all of your support, and I'll see you all in the next full moon video. Take care.